In today's News Daily video, I'm going to be talking about the latest reports surrounding us making a loan move for Philippe Coutinho for next season. Yes, you guys heard that right. I'm going to talk about the latest reports surrounding Pjanic making a move to the bridge next season. I'm going to be talking about the club's efforts to tackle the current pandemic and Frank Lampard's words on the situation. And to end things, I'm going to be talking about a keeper that I've spoken about last month. His name is Juan Musso, and reports are that we're looking to sign the goalkeeper for 30 million euros. It's going to be a big News Daily video today, you guys. And before I get into anything, if you like today's video, then smash that like button. Help me go over 2,000 likes for today. And without wasting any more time, we get into the first story for the day. And I'm going to talk about the club's current stance on this pandemic. And as you guys can see, Chelsea Football Club is joining the medical response to the coronavirus outbreak in London. With the news, the National Health Service has accepted the club's offer to make the Millennium Hotel at Stamford Bridge available for NHS staff. Now, we do continue on because the mastermind behind this idea actually came from our owner, Roman Abramovich. The initiative came from club owner Roman Abramovich, and after contact with the NHS was made by Chairman Bruce Buck, it was decided the best way we can assist the NHS is to provide accommodation for the NHS staff. And get this, you guys, Roman is going to fully cover every single cost and expense. You know, it's fantastic news. It's really good that the club, you know, especially in times where football clubs like to separate themselves from real world situations, I think with the current pandemic, we can't afford to do that. And it's good to know that the club, which in typical fashion, you know, with our recent history, they are continuously at the forefront of things like this. We've made a statement, we're doing our part, and hopefully this encourages other Premier League clubs to step in, help out, and do their service for the country. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're all human at the end of the day. We can help out when we can. And it's kind of funny to me that Roman, even though he's not even in the country, is doing a lot more than what senior politicians are doing in this situation. It's absolutely crazy. Now, of course, the cynical part of me does feel like this is only going to be positive PR because it's going to help put pressure in regards to getting this situation sorted out with his UK visa, because he's not allowed in the country, he's still in Israel, and you're feeling like some conclusion needs to come at the end of the day. But anyway, we do move on, you guys, and Frank Lampard made a very passionate plea today, telling all of us to remember that, of course, we're upset that football isn't available right now, but this is a serious situation. We need to understand that, you know, we have to put football to the side sometimes. We have to look after ourselves. As Lampard himself states, social distancing can leave us feeling isolated. However, we can continue to support each other, even if that means doing it remotely. Of course, we don't know when competitive football will restart, but it isn't worth worrying about too much at the moment. We all miss football, but right now it's all about acting responsibly and in the best interest of society. I'm sure I wasn't the only one who found myself in a strange place with no sport this weekend, but ultimately none of that matters when we consider the bigger picture. This is why I love Frank Lampard. He's just a very clued up individual. You know, he's got a lot of perspective. He sees the bigger picture, and yeah, he's sending out the right message, you guys. You know, it's a shame, it's sad there's no football, but you know, there's still going to be things to talk about. There's always debates to have. You know, the football conversation never dies, you guys. So from that point on, we now move on to the second story for the day. Before I continue on, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. As I'm constantly stressing, the app is free. Give it an opportunity. Try it out for yourselves. You'll realize that it's a very convenient hub for your football news, latest information surrounding the team, the squad, and all the latest news happening across Europe. It's a very quick and convenient app. Try it out for yourselves. You'll find a link below in the description. And without wasting any more time, we get into the second story for the day. And I want to talk about these reports linking us with a loan move for Coutinho for next season. Now, this story is coming out from AS in Spain. And to give you guys the lowdown, it's looking quite obvious that Bayern Munich aren't going to be signing Coutinho on a permanent at the end of his loan spell. Now, currently, they don't agree to spend up to £90 million to complete the signing on a permanent. It's not making too much sense. Yeah, Coutinho's been decent this season. He's got like 8 goals and a few assists in 15 games. However, you're expecting a lot more for that type of outlay. And this means that Coutinho is going to be available again. And this is where the reports get really interesting, because it states that we made an approach over the past few days to Barcelona to talk about a loan move for Coutinho for the summer. AS report that we've already held talks with the player personally to talk about our situation, to talk about the environment he could have here, and to speak about our intentions for the player. However, we've made one condition to Barcelona, and that condition is if we sign Coutinho, we want the same terms that you gave Bayern Munich. We don't want to pay any more. We want to agree to the same terms exactly. And, you know, when I was reading this stuff, I was like, this is crazy. I mean, like every few months there's new Coutinho reports, but these are the first reports that have been so specific to state that this is a loan move. You know, this is a very specific thing to say, and when you're saying that, it does leave you thinking about the real life implications behind a deal like this. And I think this is the perfect time to give my thoughts and opinions on this story. And my first immediate thought was, does this confirm that maybe Sancho is going to stay at Dortmund for one more season and we're looking to sign a quality short-term replacement until we sign the player the following window? Does that sound far-fetched? I'm not too sure, you guys. I feel like in my head it does make some sense. You know, Sancho right now, he's not too sure whether he wants to leave Dortmund at this point in time. Currently, there's a good thing happening at Dortmund, and ideally, with the players being so young there, I guess they want to win things together. So let's see what happens as the months go on. Does this maybe give us an idea of how Lampard's hoping to use the attack for next season? I mean, let's imagine that we have Coutinho alongside Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic. In that sense, Lampard has two wingers, two cams, and is that the type of attacking balance that Lampard wants to have with his attack? Potentially, who knows? You know, in that sense, we know that Coutinho knows how to bang the goals, and he's been doing that consistently for a while. And the thing about the player is, you know, it's his game, it's how he plays. He likes to hold a wide position to receive the ball, and then from then on, he has all the time and space to run deep, run in field, take shots on goal. And maybe Lampard's thinking, with how we play, we don't have consistent quality long shot shooting. When Lampard was a player, we used to profit so many times from individual excellence like this. So maybe qualities like specific niche qualities like this are important and are things that managers think about. Yeah, I know you guys, there's so much speculation that I'm even starting to get a headache. But, you know, let's keep it real for a second. I guess a counterclaim to my theory is that the club are looking at Coutinho because it's typical of the club's transfer strategy. We like to cast a wide net as wide as possible, and we don't know who exactly we're going to catch in that net. I don't agree with that strategy. You know, for me, the negative from the story is that we don't have the concrete targets at this point in time, and I'm thinking with the summer approaching very soon, with competition being like crazy in the summer as well, we need to start being a lot more decisive very early on. Maybe we're doing this to feel the market, to get an understanding of who's available, at what price, at what cost, who wants to sign for us, etc, etc. And then once you have all that information you need, then you can make the right strategy to pick, okay, out of these 5 targets, this is the number 1 guy we're going to sign. You know, this is a very methodical, efficient way to make signings. However, it does come at the expense of time, because it takes too long at times, and a lot of times these things end and it affects us signing other targets after that. So with this Coutinho story, you guys, I'm going to leave this question to you. Would you like to see him here next season? Do you think he's the answer? Does he have those solutions? Let me know below. And without wasting any more time, let's talk about Miralem Pjanic and the latest reports surrounding the player. Now, reports in Italy suggest that we are turning our attentions back to Pjanic. At this point in time, Juventus, well, they want to sign big money players in the summer, but to do that, they need to sell first to generate those funds. Ideally, Pjanic is a player that they don't want to sell. However, to sign your Paul Pogba's, a player that Juventus are doing the most to try and sign and bring back to the club, well, it means that Pjanic isn't so indispensable anymore. Rumours and reports suggest that his price would be around 60 million. And they state that us and Paris Saint-Germain are the 2 clubs competing to sign the player in the summer. Again, this is another story that came from nowhere, so I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions. You know, I think the first immediate thing is that Pjanic has struggled under Sarri this season. He did start the season well, and he has shown his quality in glimpses throughout the season. However, it's becoming evident and clear that Pjanic is struggling to play in a Sarri ball system. You know, Pjanic has always been more of a deep line playmaker than a regista, and I guess he's really suffering under how restrictive and how much attention to detail that role needs. Pjanic has definitely struggled in the defensive phase of the system. And I guess with Jorginho, the main benefit you got from him is that not only is he much better at counter-pressing and winning his duels, he covers a lot of ground, he can run for a long time. The main thing is he knows how to organize a press, he knows how to set a team up, and he knows how to control the tempo of how a team plays. Does this indicate to us that we could see a potential Jorginho and Pjanic swap? Because if you look at the valuation of both players, you'd assume that they both command around the same type of money. If you're Sarri, you know that you need Jorginho next season. You know, he's feeling the pressure. The fans don't like the system. They're not seeing any evolution in their football. Things are very slow and methodical and mechanical. And Sarri knows that his football takes a lot of time. But to get the best out of the system, you need to sign the right players. And of course, Sarri is working with a Juventus team that has a lot of former players from the former management. So if he can sign Jorginho and bring him here, that's going to do him the world of good. That's going to help Jorginho as well because he goes back to Italy. He plays a style of football that gets the best out of him as well. Now, for me, Jorginho is the type of player that really shines when the game is more restrictive. And when the game is more restrictive, it's easier for him to follow instructions, and his game becomes about the attention to detail. It's about the quality in moments, not consistent quality over time. And I think maybe this is where Jorginho does struggle, because in our system in particular, he has to be a lot more expressive on the ball. He has to make things happen a lot more on the ball as well. And it seems like his game is more suited to a very heavy possession style of game. If you're asking me, I don't want to see Pjanic. It's not because he's a bad player. I just think that now, because we have Billy Gilmore and Kovacic, we're kind of stacked in that area. Ideally, we need a player similar to Kante, Soumare from Lille. He's the type of profile midfield player that this team needs to go to the next level. I prefer to see him, but you guys in the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions. Do you think Pjanic is the answer? Do you think he'll take us to the next level? Let me know below. And without wasting any more time, we end things with a final report for the day. And that's in regards to Juan Musso, the Udinese keeper, and talks that it looks like we can sign the goalkeeper for 30 million euros in the summer. Now, this story has come from Football Italia, and they're suggesting that due to Udinese's current economic situation, they're forced to sell Musso, who happens to be their prized asset this summer. His valuation is at around 30 million euros, and we actually have competition with Inter Milan to sign the player. The great news is we're currently leading the race to sign him, and it really just supports other stories and my theories as well, that best way to handle this Kepa situation is to sign quality competition to compete for the first team spot, because that's what Kepa really needs. And with Musso, a guy who's 25 years old, who's just won his first Argentina cap as well, he's potentially going to be Argentina's long-term goalkeeper for years to come. He comes at an affordable price, and he's a keeper that's been improving every single season. Could he make that next step up with us? We can only find out one way, you guys. And on that point, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Reliance TV. I'll see you guys later for some more videos.